You've probably heard about all the mainstream habits for regulating your nervous system. Meditation, breath work, yoga, exercise. And while these can all be great, sometimes when you're given so much advice, it can feel overwhelming of where to start, especially if you're already feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or like you're struggling to switch off. And so instead, let's look at some really simple switches that you can make throughout the day that will help you to feel a little bit more grounded and calm. Here are 8 tiny micro habits to help you start regulating your nervous system. Number 1 is slow down the urgency. I think a lot of us have got so used to having somewhere to be, something to do, or something to focus on that we're rarely fully present in the moment. Our attention is constantly moving on to the next thing, what's next on our list, the message we need to reply to, the things we haven't finished yet. And sometimes this constant mental activity can show up as a sense of urgency, where we constantly feel the need to keep busy, or we feel like we're falling behind, or we feel like we should always be doing something. However, when we're constantly operating from this sense of urgency, it can keep our body in a more activated state, which can contribute to the release of stress hormones like adrenaline or cortisol. And over time, this can start to affect how we feel on a day-to-day, our energy, our mood, our ability to switch off, and even how we sleep. And so one really simple micro habit is to just start noticing that urgency. When you catch yourself rushing and there's absolutely no reason to, deliberately slow down. For example, maybe try chewing your food a little slower, or walk instead of rushing from one place to another, or purposely take your time when there is nowhere you need to be. And I honestly struggle with this myself. I have to constantly tell myself to slow down. Literally just the other day, I went for a walk along the beach at 8 a.m. and the minute I got out the car, I just immediately started walking fast. I was like, there was this old lady in my way and I just like drop kicked her. I was like, get out of the way! And I literally had to remind myself, I was like, Heather, this is supposed to be a relaxing walk along the beach. And so I had to tell myself to slow down. And finally, I started to relax. And then I went back to the grandma, picked her up off the floor. She was okay. But just start to notice when you feel this sense of urgency in yourself, try take a deep breath, release the tension in your body, and remind yourself that I don't always need to be in a rush. I don't always need to be doing something. Because the more you practice this, the easier it becomes to feel more calmer and present throughout the day. Now, number 2 is eat without screens. Because when we're constantly taking in information, well, we're giving our brains more to process. And even though that stimulation might feel enjoyable, well, our brain is still having to pay attention to it, to process it, and to switch between different sources of information. And so over time, this can make it harder to switch off because we're not really giving our brains a chance to rest or simply settle in the day. And so try making your meal times an opportunity to give your brain a break from that constant input. Put the phone away, turn the TV off, and simply eat and be present with your food. Notice how it tastes, take the time to enjoy the silence, and if you can, sit outside and enjoy your surroundings. I think you'll be surprised by how much more peaceful these small moments can start to feel when you're not constantly taking in something else. Now, number 3 is switch to decaf in the afternoon. And this is such a simple switch, but one that can make a big difference because caffeine stimulates your nervous system and increases alertness. And so if you're already feeling stressed or activated, well, adding more caffeine into the mix may not be helping you to feel more settled. Plus, caffeine can stay in your system for several hours, and so having it later in the day can also interfere with your sleep, even if you don't notice an obvious effect. And so instead, try switching your afternoon coffee to decaf, because now you still get to enjoy the ritual and taste of your coffee, but also whilst giving your nervous system a little less stimulation as you move through the rest of the day. Number 4 is feel into your body. And I'd actually consider this to be one of the most important ones. The reason why is because your body is always rooted in the present moment. Your mind, on the other hand, is usually thinking about what happened yesterday or worrying about what might happen tomorrow. And so when you take a moment to actually feel into your body, you're bringing your attention back to what's actually happening right now, which can help to take you out of your thoughts for just a moment and give your body a chance to relax. In fact, let's do a quick exercise together. I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. I said close your eyes. I'm waiting for you. Okay, good. Take a deep breath. And I want you to just feel your feet. Don't think about your feet. Don't analyze them. Just feel them. Notice the sensations of your feet on the ground. the temperature, the pressure, or just whatever sensations you notice. And now bring your attention up through your body. Notice your legs, your stomach, your chest, your shoulder, your arms, your hands, your face. Just notice what you can feel. Maybe there's tension somewhere. Maybe your breath is a little bit shallow. Maybe you feel completely relaxed. There's nothing you need to change. Just notice. Okay, you can open your eyes now. This is what I mean by feeling into your body. You're taking your attention away from your thoughts and bringing it to what's actually happening right now in this moment. And you can do this anywhere, sitting at your desk, in the car, walking, or even when you're just standing making a drink. But the more you practice feeling your body throughout the day, the more aware you become of what's happening in the present moment, allowing your nervous system to shift into a more relaxed state. Also, just a quick note, but I've opened up more spots for my program, The Identity Rewire. It's a neuroscience-backed system designed to help you end self-sabotage and rebuild your identity in 30 days. And so if you're interested, you can find the link below to learn more. Spaces are limited. The fifth micro habit is do something that brings you joy. And this one might seem really simple, but I think it's something we really overlook. Because when we're always focused on work, responsibilities, and everything we feel like we should be doing, we forget to make time for the things we actually enjoy. Over time, this can leave us feeling drained, disconnected, and like we're constantly just trying to get through the day. In fact, neuroscientists are talking more and more about the importance of play for our well-being. I think as adults, we get so focused on being productive that we forget to simply have fun. It's like everything needs to have a purpose or it needs to have a certain outcome instead of just doing something because we enjoy it. And so each day, try to make a little bit of time for something that genuinely brings you joy. Whether that's listening to your favorite music, spending time with someone you love, playing with your dogs, reading, creating something, or simply sitting outside and enjoying the moment. Personally, if I ever want to really feel good, I'll put on ABBA because it's my mom's feel-good music and it reminds me of her. I also spend a ridiculous amount of time each day rubbing my dog's bellies, treating them like royalty. I should honestly get paid for my services. And even with my YouTube videos, I try to pay attention to what makes me feel excited. For example, the other day, I spent 3 days trying to make a YouTube video that I thought would do well, but in the end I realized that I don't even really like it. I wasn't proud of it, I didn't like the idea, I just wasn't enjoying it, and so instead of forcing myself to do it, I just tossed it in the bin and just started a new one, and the new one made me feel excited, and so it was so much easier to do. And so start allowing yourself to do more of the things that genuinely bring you joy, without feeling like everything has to be productive or serve a purpose. Number 6 is spend 20 minutes outside. Research is showing more and more how much time we spend indoors, staring at screens and surrounded by artificial stimulation. And when we spend so much of our day indoors, well, we can start to feel mentally fatigued, restless, overstimulated, and disconnected from our surroundings. And so spending even as little as 20 minutes outside can help you to reduce stress, improve your mood, boost your energy, and enhance your mental clarity. Plus, natural light also helps to regulate your circadian rhythm, which can support better sleep. It also gives you a chance to move your body, get some fresh air, and break up those long periods of sitting. And so try and get 20 minutes outside. If you're on your break at work, take your break outside. If you have a phone call, go for a walk while you're on the phone. The important thing is finding little opportunities throughout your day to get outside and enjoy the change of environment. Now, number 7 is do one thing at a time. And this kind of connects back to that sense of urgency I mentioned earlier. Because when we constantly feel the need to be doing something, we can end up trying to do 5 things at once. We're eating while we're watching something, we're answering messages while we're working, or we're just thinking about the next thing we need to do whilst we're still doing the current thing. And so instead of always trying to multitask, make it a practice to do one thing at a time. When you're eating, just eat. When you're working, focus on the task in front of you. When you're talking to someone, give them your full attention. Just start noticing when you're trying to do too many things at once and come back to doing one thing at a time. Not only will this help to reduce feelings of mental overwhelm and make you feel less scattered, but focusing your attention on one thing at a time can also strengthen your ability to focus and make it easier to stay present with what you're doing. And finally, micro habit number 8 is to have a few minutes of silence each day. And I know I've already talked about how much information we're taking through our screens, but even when we're not looking at a screen, we often have something playing in the background. A podcast, music, YouTube, the TV. There's always something to fill the silence. And whilst there's nothing wrong with any of these things, our brains also need moments where they're not constantly taking something in. And so just try spending 5 minutes in silence. No phone, no music, no podcast. Just sit there and be still. It might sound small and simple, but it gives your brain a chance to rest, process what's been going on, and simply be without needing to focus on anything. Ultimately, creating a calmer life isn't always about doing more. Sometimes it's about giving yourself more moments to simply pause, be present, and letting your nervous system breathe. And so I hope this video helped you. Click here to watch another video, and I will see you in the next one. All the best.